Welcome, everybody, to the Reality After Show coverage of the Summit. This show is called Too High, the Summit podcast for now. I'm Wayne Memmott. I'm one of the co-hosts here with Ohmar Gibson Jr. Give it up for Ohmar, everybody. What's up, Ohmar? How's it going, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Ready to talk some reality as usual, man. I'm sorry,
are you prepared?
You hit the bass that's like super hard. It was like really loud, and so I keep laughing at that. I'm sorry. If it's not obvious out there to the people on the no, you're fine. I was about to say if it's not obvious to the people out there, we're always too high when we come into this, so I will laugh at anything. Okay.
It is a Saturday afternoon, a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Beautiful, chilly, crisp weather. That's where Ohmar and I are from, and
Yes.
we're here spending the morning drinking some coffee, getting a little too high. Now we're going to talk about the show The Summit on CBS and Paramount Networks, which we have been covering all season. This is the third episode of the podcast. We have covered episodes 1 through 3, and now we are covering episodes 4 and 5 together. In full transparency, a little mea culpa, I have a 1-month-old. And Ohmar has jobs, and my jobs don't always work on time. So we've been working out a schedule, but we figured out a schedule, and we think that this podcast is going to come out every single Monday. So you can look forward to it. We are going to be covering the Summit, this show where everybody loves Dennis.
Yes, the star of the show. The star of the show, the Korean cockroach, or the Korean bull, as he has elevated himself to this episode. So,
I feel like as a non-person of color, I'm not allowed to call him either of those things. So I think as a straight white man, he's just gonna be Dennis to me. I think he's just gonna be Dennis.
See, I'm playing the same, but I'm just like, you know what? You called it yourself first. It's open season, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is. If somebody out there bad about it, you all can get on me about it. It is what it is. Don't get on my co-host. I was raised in roasting culture. I'm a little different, okay?
Yeah, but to be fair, there's a lot of words you could call yourself that I'm also not allowed to say, even if you say it first. So.
Oh, the struggles of being a white man in America in 2020.
God, it's so hard, guys. I'm just kidding.
Oh, man, we're out to a good start this episode. I love it.
We are. But yeah, we've got probably I'm going to guess 5 more episodes of the Summit left. I think they're doing 10 episodes. So after that's over, we've got some plans. We're going to stick around. We're going to keep covering different stuff. Right off the top, if you want us to cover anything next, let us know what you think we want to cover. Old seasons of different reality shows, upcoming shows, whatever. We're looking for ideas. I think that's it. Also, this is on the Reality After Show Network. So we cover a bunch of reality television shows. It's all headlined by our fearless leader, Jonny Fairplay. Jonny Fairplay, he covered legendary Survivor villain and player, House of Villains player. We cover Survivor on Wednesday nights with Matt Bischoff. We've got challenge coverage with Pauly Calafiore, Alex Trias, and Dan Monchel. We've got Kelly Wentworth covering Survivor. We've got a bunch of other podcasts on the network that pop up every single week. We've got House of Villains coverage. So if you like any of those reality shows, check out our feed. Like, subscribe, leave us a review. All that helps. Sign up for our Patreon at Reality After Show on patreon.com. And it's $7 a month. You get to listen to all of this that you love ad-free, bare minimum, plus other things. And if you don't like it, Johnny will give you your money back.
I was about to say, you said something about the podcast coming out every week. It's every hour. Like, those notifications from the Reality After Show. It'll be on my phone, making me feel like I'm loved. Like, oh, somebody hit me. Oh, it's just it's the channel.
Yeah, you want to get some endorphins throughout the day. Just follow this network. It's like, oh, another one. Okay. Who are these guys? I don't know any of them. But yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff being added. I don't know. This is if you followed this for a long time, you know that this has gone over a bunch of different changes, and we've got some people that believe in what we're doing and really believe in Jonny Fairplay and the team that he's put together, and we're really excited about the changes coming to this network. You've already seen some of them. We've got some cool things planned for next year. It's really exciting. So yeah, it's good. Cheers to the Reality After Show, everybody.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, it's in the morning. We're all drinking seltzers.
No, this is a coffee, okay? Which I just realized
Oh,
is a
you're
bad
drinking.
choice because the smile was looking extra brown. But oh, whatever.
Oh, that's all right. Your camera's not good enough, and neither is mine. Uh, we are getting into season 1, episode 4 of How High. Oh my God, that is my favorite movie. But
Oh, that's great. I love it.
of the summit. We're getting into episode 4 of the summit. And Omar, I've just talked a lot. Why don't you kick us off and tell us where we're at, what we're getting into,
Oh
and
my
I'll pump
God.
in when I got a few things.
Oh man, this thing is gonna go off the rails. I can feel it. So we are at just got rid of my boy, my only source of eye candy for this show, Jeff. So that is very saddening for me. I was in mourning that past episode. And
Dollar
yeah,
Store Leroy.
yes, which I thought people were slightly better.
Oh.
I'm just saying. So I think is this where we get our whiteout where we're snowed in? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they wake
This is,
up and
we
like
get,
they see nothing but snow, and I would be terrified if
yeah.
I woke up on a mountain and that's what I seen outside of my tent. I don't know about
Hmm.
you, but I don't like it.
We get our first of everybody giving a confessional that they think Dennis is the next vote off of the mountain. And spoiler alert, he's there after episode 5. So, but Dusty comes on and says he doesn't trust Dennis. They kind of hash it out. He's like, I don't trust that guy. I think the next vote's easy. Pumpkin's pissed that Jeff is gone, and so she's like, they're all like, oh, we're gonna get Dennis, and I think Dennis is just gonna be this shield for the strong players.
Pretty much, Becky Lee even said it in one of the episodes, and it's funny that you said, I don't know if you or I had said it one of the past episodes of the podcast. Just put it, dang it, did the train go off the rails that quick? I think I lost that train of thought that quick.
Oh no,
what was
that's all right.
something that was said about Dennis? I can't even remember.
Oh, just that he's going to be a shield. We've talked about it. Yeah.
That he is shit. Not even just him being a shield. Dang it, that just blocked the thought that just came back. Screw it. I can't.
All right, we'll come back to it.
I can't get it.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll come back to it. I noticed before we
actually do see him. That is it. They actually see him as the version that we see him on the screen by this episode. They do see him that way in the game because we had thought like because they didn't vote him out the last episode that they didn't maybe view him that way, but it turns out they actually do, which is fascinating. That they still
as we called him out episode 1.
Yes.
Yeah, we called him out episode 1, and now it's like episode 4, and everyone's like, oh yeah, this guy's like a liar. This guy is like lying and playing this game as a liar. He's actually playing this game as somebody like a competition.
It was really the Jeff vote out that really kind of solidified it because he was like, when Jeff straight up asked him, like, oh, you threw out my name. He was like, no, I didn't say that. And you have like 3 or 4 people in the circle who really could have said something in that moment and really set the game off and be like, no, you did actually. We were all there when you said it. Like, but
it's moments like that. Yeah, it's moments like that that are like, okay, you figured out this show. Cast it again, and now that people will be on the show that have seen the show, you will get those spicy moments. Like it's very like first season of a reality show vibes where they're just like I'll get to. I've got a theory about that. I also want to point out that we saw a map. We saw like a full map, actual kind of detailed of what their treks are. And also Becky Lee pointed out that they have 14 total days. And I know they've probably mentioned it and I was probably high, but this is the first time where I feel like they really focus like, here's a day count. Here's their progression. Like, I feel like we're getting a view of what their progression is as, through the show.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it was just because of how integral it was to the story beats of what happened for us episode 5, so they had to kind of like start really like submitting it with the episode before. But I did enjoy that a lot because I'm like, okay, now we're starting to see that they are actually down to the wire now. But.
We're there's the easy people are gone. Amy starts working on new relationships because she was strong on Jeff, and she's getting to work. And she sees that she mentions and she sees like, oh, Pumpkin was also stranded with Jeff gone. So let me swoop Pumpkin up as a number. And that's when I'm like, oh, Amy's like really playing this game. Like,
yes,
Amy knows what she's doing and she knows her role and she's playing it very, very well.
so well. And honestly, I didn't say it before when we were talking about it, but she is another one I would love to see on the island. Because she was the way she navigated the social part of this whole thing was like perfect. Especially you see it in the, how it turns out in episode 5 when he's like when everybody's like, well, nobody's saying Amy, like, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good on her.
She's really like every episode I keep having my stock up on Amy. I'm like, oh, okay. She like, it feels like she's getting into a groove. You know, she has her tough moments. I know she struggles, but she always is like pulling herself through, or she's, you know, when she's helping somebody else out, and telling them things, she's really helping herself out. You know, like she's really she's a stock up person. She's going to struggle with some stuff, but she's already done a lot of really, really hard stuff. And these next 2 episodes, she does some really hard stuff that she gets through. And I'm like, all right, Amy, like, you're a mom, but you got this. Like, you can, you know.
Yeah, she's one of those where it would have been easy to kind of like, okay, yeah, you're going to have this story where like, it'll be nice to see you push through, but I don't think she's going to do it. But as you keep watching, you're like, wait, hold on, I believe it now. Like, you're making a believer out of me. So, good storyteller.
Yep. Pumpkin knows that Dennis is lying, and we're starting to see the big, you know, again, this is another confessional against Dennis and how everybody sees Dennis. And that's, as it comes up later, it's almost helpful because it's like, yeah, we know what Dennis is. We don't know what you are. And so when you're always putting people up against Dennis, it's like, well, we know we can't trust Dennis. So, but he doesn't hold us back. So keep coming, but we just don't believe you. We're just not going to play with you. And then they get to put up their targets. It's a classic Big Brother kind of strategy.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like meat shield strategy to me on Survivor, being like, well, they're not going to win every immunity challenge. So when they don't, boom, that's gone. So.
Right. It's like in this season of Big Brother when they kept putting up Angela. You know, it's like, okay, if you went up against Angela or Chemo, you knew you were going home. And that's kind of how it worked out for all of it, just the way it all worked out. So, so then they're walking and they get to, oh, is this the snow climb? This is the first snow. No, this isn't it.
No, this is the individual partners. This is when we get to, after the snowed in, this is when we get to Jeannie being left behind because they have to partner up.
That's right.
To do this rock, like rope, like trek situation where they got to like go across the thing and up the thing. So, yeah.
It's not even just partner up. They have to say leaders or followers. So they pair up in either leaders or followers, and they have, which kind of whatever. I mean, it's kind of means strongest and weakest is kind of what it ends up meaning, like between each pair, who do you think's the strongest and who's the weakest. And it seems like there's really just one difficult, like super difficult part of this trek because it's the same part they keep focusing on, which is that where the ruck juts out. And so
it's just hard to get the footing and all of that. I'm scared of heights, but I actually want to try to do it. They made me want to try to do it with this episode.
I mean, all these challenges, like I'm scared of heights too. I think most rational people are scared of that kind of heights, but then as some of them say to themselves, it's like, you're safe, you're not going to fall. Like, you're not going to fall. Like, most realistically, you're not going to fall. You're on a television show. This television show doesn't go if somebody falls and dies. Like, you're not going to fall and die. It's safe. So many people have done this. It's set tracks, blah, blah, blah. They're not inventing new treks for the show. They're taking something that exists somewhere that nobody knows about and then following that.
Right.
So we've got Dusty with Theron. I'm going to say the leaders first. So Dusty leader, follower Theron, Nick with Amy, Dennis with Patty, Rob with Jenny, Becky Lee with Pumpkin, and then Jeannie is left off by herself, and she kind of sees it coming in the partner process. She keeps saying, like, I don't have anybody. Hey, anybody.
I felt so bad, but it was so funny because she kept trying to say it like, well, I don't have anybody, and I'm really scared. I'm really scared. I don't feel confident, and then you can just see everybody. Oh, I got this person. No, I got this person. It's
interesting. It's so interesting to see how it was paired up this way, as far as that, because it's just like, I guess Jeannie is kind of the one that makes sense to like go by herself. Like she's pretty strong and pretty fearless. Like Theron has already demonstrated that this is a big deal for him. Pumpkin is a huge problem for her. Jenny it's a huge problem for her. And Amy and Patty honestly should have been the leaders on this over the followers because they're the ones that kind of like, yeah, they struggled with the climb, but they're the ones that motivated Nick and Dennis up to the top because Nick and Dennis are both actually scared of heights. So
yes.
We get through this, and I like that they take these challenge moments where it's just like, okay, we're just watching people that don't know how to climb climbs. It's honestly boring to watch. So they take this moment to like keep cutting in there like heartbreaking stories, which are the things we hate on Survivor, but this is such a person-focused show. It's not a bad thing for us to like know their backstory and what matters to these people the most, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of is it metaphorical or symbolic? Like they're literally walking up a mountain, and you kind of want to also show some sort of growth from maybe the person they was before they came into the show, and then after. So it's classic storytelling.
Yeah, we got Theron's story, which is like I don't even want to go through, but like heartbreaking. He's lost so many people important to him in his life. He's lived a tough life. He seems like he's always a positive, happy person. He probably puts that on to hide a lot of his pain. He's got 17 brothers and sisters.
I mean, when he started talking about the numbers, I was just like, man, like that's just he's just kind of playing it out. Like I hate to make the dark jokes. I told you I was raised differently. You just playing the averages at that point. Like there's too many. Like it's 17 siblings. It's like you got to be ready for something. Cause
20 people, someone's gonna die. I mean,
yeah, it's so that really was like interesting to see that, and it made me like Theron a lot more. Not to say I didn't like him before, but maybe definitely understand him and probably his reasons to want to come and do something like that. Because when you grow up in like a big family like that, it's very easy to kind of maybe feel like you don't get your not sure due, but like your I don't want to say even attention, but like, that really kind of is what it is. Like, it is what it is. So, like, you don't get your
chance to shine.
Like, oh, you did that. So, like, seeing him kind of come do this, like, it's making me root for him even more with his story.
Yep. Yeah, I really like Theron. I like him as a character. He's great. Let's see. So, Dusty and Theron went. After that, I don't have the order down exactly. But Rob and Jenny are going up. Jenny gets scared, and this is like another time that like she doesn't say cat things, but she is a cat in this moment. It's a cat that climbed too high in a tree. It's like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I am not leaving. I'm right here. I can't go. What are you going to do? You're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to live here now? You're waiting for the helicopter to come get you? It's not going to be easier to get off of this moment here than climbing all the way to the top. Or just let go. Yeah. You're safe. You're harnessed in. You're going to slide down. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, and as we said before, doesn't seem any penalties besides the time to get back up for falling off the mountains and stuff like that, or falling off the challenges. So she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I had the same thought too. Yeah. Cat the tree. That's funny.
Becky Lee and Pumpkin go up. Pumpkin's scared of heights. That's a common theme. She's one of those people that's kind of like her and like Theron are like, I don't think they knew exactly what they were getting into.
I don't know how climbing up a mountain, people.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think they thought it's like, oh, we gotta like walk a long path for a long time, and like that's it. And it's like, oh, it's a mountain, dog. Yeah, Patty. Consummate motivator. Amy helps Nick. And then Jeannie's got to go up by herself. She's scared. The thing that sucks about this is she has. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
Oh, I was gonna say the thing that sucks about her is like the solo has to go last. So she has to like just sit there and watch, and she's just waiting. So it's like not only is it the most nerve-wracking position, but you're also last. So you can't just like get it out of the way. And I wonder like if they have any choice over that, or if it's the solo person has to go last. I imagine it's the solo person has to go last because the helicopter's going to do a fly in and would blow off all the snow down below, or something like that.
Yeah, like they had to make it a moment about that person, that last person, actually watching everybody go and just stew on the fact that they don't have anybody to go with, and watch everybody then struggle with it and see, like, because she even said it a couple times, like, oh my god, like if they can't do that by themselves, they're having to hold somebody. I don't have a hand right there when I'm going by myself,
Right.
so how am I going to do this? And
Right.
ultimately we have the moment of her being able to power through it and get through it herself.
She does it. She kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie kills it again, showing like, okay, she's strong. She's a stock up person as well, and this kind of shows it. Mountain's Keeper comes while she's on there. I don't know what I think about this dramatic bullshit. I'm like so torn. I understand it's part of the show, but it's like so anticlimactic because we don't know who this is, and there's going to be a big reveal, and it's either going to be someone really cool or somebody we have no idea who they are. Or even worse, we're just never going to meet this person ever, and it's just going to be an eye in the sky that we ever meet for season to season. I don't know what I think about the Mountain's Keeper.
I feel like if they're not gonna drop the bag, like because I seen it in the preview, I was like, okay, they're gonna come and drop the bag. When they just did the fly in and then flew away, I was like, what the fuck is the point? Like just to add that extra pressure for her for no reason, because again, there are no consequences for her falling off other than they got to take time to put her back on the thing and she got to start over again. Like it would have had to been a thing to me. I feel like they should have to listen here. Some of the producers, if you get a second go, make them wager their money or something on these challenges to say like this is give them a minimum to say this. We're gonna put this minimum up that we can make it across with no mistakes or with in this amount of time. And if we don't, that's more money out the pot. That's how you take money out the pot in a narrative way, other than this person quit, so we don't have the money no more. Like let's
that's cool. I like that idea of like a wagering in the game. That would be a fun way to step it up to like, hey, it's $1 million to start, and it's like you guys could be perfect all the way through and wager everything. You could get this up to like $2 million or something like that, you know. That would be cool. I think that the reason why the Mountain's Keeper flies in is to like give the illusion that they're always watching and they're watching the decisions that they make, even though it's like, yeah, duh, the camera men, the camera people that are walking with you, that then have walkie-talkies back to the production tent that's up at the place where they're setting up your camp. Like they got it. I don't think we need this. The bag drop is fine. The bag drop, and then just keep reminding us that they're always watching, but you don't need this. You don't need this flyby. Like, exactly. And this is this like bag, second or third time. Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. If you're not going to drop a bag that it changes the game, then you don't need to fly by. Get out of here, Mountain's Keeper. You're making it unnecessarily difficult on the person that it's the most difficult for in that very moment. Nick, when he's like hanging from that rope, like scared of heights, like, or the ladder. It was the ladder. He was climbing the ladder and he's like, I'm deathly scared of heights. And now there's a helicopter like feet. It feels like feet away from me. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it looked very close, even still. Like, they was really pushing it on the safety guidelines.
Yep. Then we get more. They all get up there. We get more walking, right?
I feel like this is where
we get, first of all, we get the first Rob call out. This is the first like where they're like, hey, Rob's going home this episode, because Dusty kind of is like, yeah, Rob's a lot. He always acts like he knows everything. And it's like cuts to him knowing all, cutting in all the ones we've seen already.
All of his camp counselor tips. That's the one thing they missed on there was Rob camp counselor tip 1. Ding. Camp counselor tip 2.
Oh, yeah, the CT tips. Yeah.
Camp counselor tips. That's all he needed. Because he didn't get the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only thing I wish we got out of the whole Rob and Dusty, because I remember the first episode, I was like, I hope this is probably my favorite little duo, is that was just more clips of Dusty just being annoyed by Rob, just leading up to the way. Just skipping all of them.
I know. Patty is struggling a lot. Her body's breaking down. She's really, really struggling. Rob hangs back with her to keep her company while everybody charges ahead. This is the theme. And the one thing I want to know is, like, how far back is she? Because they get to camp and have it, like, all set up and have burgers on the grill by the time, like, Patty and Rob, like, show up. And it's like, dang, it's been a while. Like, she's way back there.
I know, and even more important than that, I think this is a kind of good thing to do morally, but crucial mistake in the game for Rob, because I think he should have been up there in the front with the people trying to talk to him like, hey, y'all see how far behind Patty is right now? Like, we probably can't take her all the way. Like, he should have been pitching that. As much as I like Patty, as much as I'm pretty sure they out there love Patty, that was the moment he should have been playing the game for real.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably his biggest mistake, was hanging back with Patty. You let Patty be alone and let her show up an hour later by herself and, really whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, drill in that physical evidence of, hey, she just kind of can't hang, guys,
But I also wonder if there's this air of like, well, we keep making the checkpoints with Patty. I mean, I like Patty. Patty helps me out. Patty's good people, good vibes. Like, she doesn't butt in. She's not even there. Patty's not even there until she's there, like.
Literally.
Right. I mean, I love Patty because I never talk to Patty. And when I do talk to Patty, I love Patty. Patty's great. Meanwhile, Rob's right there in your ear. Pull up your straps if your backpack's too heavy. Don't forget to not step on this stick, everybody. There's berries.
Like to make a dark, almost dark joke, it's like the absentee parent. You love them because you don't see them that often, and then they come and they got gifts, they're good vibes, and then they leave, and you're stuck with the person who's telling you to go to bed and eat your vegetables at night,
And they're making it to the checkpoints. There's no reason they're not. So why would they need to be like, we don't need to go any faster? We're going fine as long as Patty keeps going. We're fine
until the next episode.
Until the next episode. We get a real exposition shot of Becky Lee, one of those people that I think is auditioning to be on other reality TV shows. I think there's like 3 types of people in the show. I think there's people that are here to be on other reality shows. There's people that are genuinely here to like, I want to win the money, and win or lose, I'm not doing anything like this ever again. And then there's people that are here to like prove it to themselves, like, I just want to prove it to myself. And people might fall in a couple but Becky Lee is like, oh no, I want to do competition reality. Put me on whatever. I'm good. But she's good at it. She's kind of, I think, really positioned herself into running this game, is what she believes. She calls out the group of the 7 that this is the majority alliance, and it's Patty, Theron, Becky Lee, Nick, Pumpkin, Dusty, and Amy. I think the strongest 4 is Patty, Theron, Becky Lee, and Pumpkin. And then Nick and Dusty and Amy are kind of the add-ons, I believe, in that order is kind of what I think. And I think in that order, I think that Becky Lee listed their order. Amy was listed last, so Amy's going to be the first voted out. Dusty, Nick, if we need to, the 4 of us are safe.
Yeah, that was all intentional. I definitely felt that. You hit it right on the head.
Yep. We get a bag drop before vote. Nick and Jeannie race for it, which is kind of ironic because it's a letter to Jeannie, and it says, "We saw you on the mountain." It's like, what the? Oh, you did? That helicopter? They were looking at me. Oh, I didn't notice you there. But your bravery is rewarded, and you get to decide who votes at the next vote. She chooses either the leaders or the followers, and that side votes for somebody on the other side. And as soon as that happens, I'm like, Rob's going home.
Yes.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
Jeannie does not see herself as a leader. She sees herself as a follower. No matter what the pitch is, and Rob knows that he's hurt because he's immediately there in her ear saying, you should just do what's best for you, but me. Like, I mean, he's a lot of you should. He always is a you should. You should do this. You should do this. You should do this. I think everyone's fucking tired of hearing him saying, you should do this. No, you should go home, Rob. That's what you should do.
All people out there going on reality TV should stop saying, do what's best for you, because twice, this is a bad omen. In the same week, we've seen people say, do what's best for you, and they went home with both Rob and Hatch on House of Villains. So, stop saying it, okay? I don't know why that was the pitch. And I did say, as soon as she got that, I was like, oh my God, thank God they decided to start introducing some type of twist to make these votes more than just like a majority rules or
straight up.
Let's just bring up these two names. It's like let's add some game into this voting.
Yep.
So,
this is kind of like, hey, we don't have hidden immunity idols. We don't have little things. We don't have journeys, but we have ways to make you think that you can talk all the game that you want, and we're going to test those relationships, and here's how. And we see it in episode 5 as well. So long story short, the leaders, again, Dusty, Nick, Dennis, Rob, Becky, Lee. The followers, Theron, Amy, Patty, Jenny, and Pumpkin. Jeannie decides to join the followers. So Theron, Amy, Patty, Jenny, Pumpkin, and Jeannie go off to decide who to vote out. And it is between Rob and Dennis. Yes. And they go, and they're all pitching their pitches. And it's pretty much Rob's going home. They go back. And who voted for Dennis? Amy?
I want to say Amy and Jenny, because this is where we get kind of Jenny's another kind of coming out party again for her. Because as soon as they're like bringing up Rob, she's like, "Why are we even talking about Rob?"
Yeah,
and we know that Dennis is a liar; he's not trustworthy. And she also just had that big bonding moment on the side of the mountain with Rob being the person leading her up there. So it made sense for her to want to defend him in that moment. But she was kind of making valid points to me.
Well, and I think Amy really messed up her game here because she is clearly the bottom of the 7 of this primary alliance. And now she just said, hey, I want to work with you guys, but I can't vote for Rob, so I'm going to vote for Dennis. But Rob's going home, so the plan still stays the same. I just get to hold to my morals. And it's like, what do you care about a guy that's going home feels about you? You want to be in the 7, you say, yeah, fuck that old alliance. They're weaker, like she's trying to play this in both camps, and it's just not.
Or she's just really that that kind of emotional person because she made the same decision with Jeff going home, where she's like, I know you're outvoted, but I'm still not going to vote for Jeff because we built this whole bond on this journey. So
right. Let's see. So, Rob goes home, and that's the end of that episode. And we'll move it on to episode 5. We'll kind of get through this one. The first thing I noticed is that they confirmed that they do have there is a clear map. They have a map that has a trail on it. We got a clear shot of the map that they're following, and it has a trail that's the same thing that we have been seeing on screen all season. I know it seems like a small thing, but if you notice the first and second episodes, we were like, where are they? What are they doing? We had no idea. And now we're getting it and it looks
they're
like
actually marking it a little better. Like they're saying, okay, they're here. And now we're moving here. Right. I felt like they were showing that map in kind of random moments in the first couple episodes where it was kind of hard to follow.
And we see this one is like a short miles, but it's up and down, and they mention that. And then the next one is looks like it's a lot of miles. The next trek looks like it is a lot of miles.
Yes. So, I mean, just spoilers. I guess it's a good thing Patty ain't got to go through that one. So.
Yeah.
I love you, girl, but it would have been over. It would have been over.
I know.
It's Jonny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer, and I'm talking today about Work Money. Work Money is a non-profit organization that focuses on lowering costs and raising incomes for all Americans to make American life more affordable and American families more economically secure. They provide products, services, perks, benefits, tips, and tools to help members improve their financial lives. It's time to level up and make more money in this economy. We're talking getting rich. Now, this sweepstakes is giving away $50,000. You can use this to pay your rent, your mortgage. Imagine what you can do with all the money that you'll save. Now, this is put on by Work Money, and this site has all these sick benefits, and it's free. Go sign up right now and get more rich. Now, listen, you can change your life. Now, what would you do if you didn't have to pay your rent or mortgage for a year? Listen, sign up right now for free. Link is available right here in the show notes. Check them out. Personally, I'd get more pinball machines. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I wouldn't lie about that. It's work money. More money.
Let's see. So we are almost halfway there. Robert's gone. Jenny is pissed. She's on a warpath. Jenny is so pissed right now.
Straight calling out Dennis, and I love it. I think she is accidentally making herself into like, hey, you can put her on other reality shows if you want to, because if she's feeling it, she gonna snap, and she did.
She's crazy, and Dennis is like, Dennis goes in and he's like, ha ha ha, she ruined her game. Do you see that? She called me a liar because I am. Blah. You ruined your game. It's like, dude, this is just a small tent. They can hear you right outside. They're not. He can't. He's not that quiet.
This is not the private confessional. Like this is not.
No.
But I mean, shout out to Dennis. I love that he is so aware that he is on a reality TV show. All right, play it up.
I know. And his whole game is just targeting people that are weaker than him, less connected. That's all. His game moves are against people that are already going to get voted out. And they immediately regret not having Robert. Immediately not having Rob because they're like, oh no, he always took in our wood at night. It's like, oh yeah, the man kept everything going because he knew how to do everything, and you guys are about to climb into snow. Good luck.
Yes, I mean, 2 for 2 with bad back-to-back vote outs of Rob and Jeff. Of like, Rob, you should have kept Jeff because he would have voted for you and you wouldn't have been gone. Group, y'all would have had somebody who knew what they do, who knew what they were doing along the way. Like, what is going on here?
I know. Amy gets fired. She calls herself Adventure Amy, and this is where I'm like, yeah, Amy, heck yeah, Amy, I like you a lot. I think you're gonna mess up your game, but I like you.
Do you think she ends up getting an Adventure Amy tat when she gets home? Is it like her with the Adventure Time hat or something?
Yeah, with it. Becky states that she is using Dennis as a shield in all of this, as like a chaos shield. She's like, I know what he's doing and I love it, and it doesn't involve me. And I
did have the thought when she said that, like, does this backfire? Did they leave this in there as a key that maybe it backfires on her? That somebody notices that Becky Lee is really making the moves, and somebody else picks up on what she's kind of on as like, hey, this is kind of just chaotic. We know we can vote him out, but you kind of, nobody said your name this whole time. Right? Probably do away with you.
Yeah. She's very smart about this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Theron, we get shots of Theron and Nick pitching Amy for the first time. This is kind of the first time that we actually hear people pitching Amy as a vote out target. I think she's been shielded by Patty a lot. I think if Patty wasn't there, that her inability to do what they're doing would shine a little brighter. And we get to see that a lot of, this is where I start to realize that Nick has a lot of people as well, but he is not bragging about it in every confessional. Because every time you see a couple people talking, Nick is there with them. He has relationships with Jenny. He's got relationships with Theron. He's got relationships with Becky. He's got relationships with Jeannie. You know, he's got, and they're not like one big alliance. He's just got his own little relationships that are real strong with all these key people that aren't going
I called
anywhere.
It out. I said he was going to wallflower his way through this game, and that is exactly what he's doing. You can just see him right there, just chilling, just getting all the information and making just the right moves. And I like that for Nick. He's
That's
one,
what alphas do.
He's one who wouldn't let. He did make that one.
Because he's an alpha. He's the alpha.
I had a random thought. I was like, because I did think about that for some reason when I was watching Survivor this week, and I'm like, Nick and Sam would probably be like the perfect best friends. Like that, like when Nick Sam was like, oh, I'm the wolf in wolf's clothing, and he's like, oh, I'm the real alpha, and I'm like, what would these two look like in the same room? I'm curious, but nothing to do with nothing. I like Nick. He's one who, when I was making my power rankings, I was like, ooh, yeah, it's obvious where he's going. So
Patty, again, I feel like I write this every episode. She struggles up the hill. She cannot get up the snowy rope hill. Amy also isn't able to either. Amy really struggles I think Patty is just very slow and steady. I think she just keeps going. She doesn't look like she exerts any more or less effort at any time.
Yeah, I mean, she said it in one of her confessionals, and that she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get there when I get there. They know that I'm back here if y'all want to come talk to me, but like, I'm good. Like, y'all don't have to worry about me." And I don't think they view it that same way. And I do think that's the difference between Amy and Patty. Is I feel like you see Amy at least around people a lot more than you see Patty. Unfortunately.
Yep. Dusty leads the way the whole time. He's setting a blistering pace. The Mountain Keeper does a Maverick flyby again, just checking it out. Doesn't want to talk to producers on this.
She had to get a visual reference of how exactly, like, she got a call. It was like, "Hey, you know, Dusty is leaving Patty." Oh, for real? I gotta go see it. I gotta see it. There's nothing else for me to do. Let me go actually see it. Let me fly over and look at it.
Right. They get to the top.
I want that shot now. I want that shot from production. Give us the Mountain Keeper shot if she gonna do a flyby. Let's actually see how far Patty is from the group.
Yeah, I do want to see that shot because we don't really know. And then they get to a sign that's like, "Hey, y'all, you got to stick together. I'm telling you, you have to stick together. Don't not stick together. You better stick together. It's time to stick together, everybody." I don't know if you know this is not an individual competition. The whole team has to be up there together at the same time. Chill out. So that they wait, they rest. And this is the problem with Patty.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was to say the problem with Patty is that everyone's getting their rest. They pointed out at the very end. Everyone's getting their rest, and she is just catching up, and then they're going. And so she's not getting any rest because they're not letting her set any pace.
Right. I mean, I wonder how far off pace would they be if they took, like, I guess, like the Wolfpack method, where, you know, they let the oldest and the slowest, like, lead the way, and then the strongest are in the back. I hate when I do this because now I want to see that version of the show. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe they'll get. I don't know. They have to rappel down a mountain. Looks like they're harnessed in, and then they hold onto a rope and kind of drop down, and then they hook on and take a zip line down.
The slowest zip line I ever seen, honestly. It was like stopping some people.
Yeah, and again, this just shows like, okay, this is an established thing. Becky and Dusty go first. They crush it. Dusty gets to talk about how handsome his brothers are and how awesome his family is and blah, blah, blah. His story's not really heartbreaking at all.
No, but I mean, shout out to Dusty for the pictures of his brother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dennis and Jeannie go together. Nothing to know. Jeannie just says she really trusts Dennis, which is interesting that Dennis still has people in his corner. Theron and Amy go.
It is Jeannie. I was about to say it makes sense that it is Jeannie because she's been kind of. If Dennis is the like shifty person of the people at the top, Jeannie has been back and forth with the groups that she's been with. Been navigating the bottom throughout the entire show.
I think she just doesn't really know how like modern day reality television shows work. That's just my theory. Theron and Amy go together. Theron has a rough time. Again, another moment with Heights that you think he's going to quit. And we actually get him saying, if they had told me that this is what this is, I don't think I would have done it. Like, he's that scared, and he is not this person. And the fact that he's doing this well is pretty remarkable. If that is true, that he's like, and now I'm like, well, how is this show pitched? Is it like an adventure walk? And now they're like, it's all safe. It's all tested. You're harnessed in. You're taking an adventure walk. It's a lot of miles. You got 14 days. Takes most people 7 days to do it. You guys are going to be fine. Go out there. You vote people off along the way or something like that. You know, people quit. And it's like they get there like, oh, it's like an adventure up a mountain climb. Okay. All right, cool. Pumpkin and Patty go. Okay.
Yeah, I was just wanted to say you're fine. I was just about to say like it had to be like the most deceptive pitch ever if climbing up a mountain to the summit of a mountain was not gonna involve some climbing and heights and all of that. I don't understand how they did make the connection.
I don't know either. Pumpkin and Patty go, and these two, again, Pumpkin's scared, and Patty and Amy really showed that they are emotional support for these people when they're doing this partner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Amy was like telling Theron, and I think Amy was helping herself out too by shouting that. I think it was giving her self-confidence to help Theron. Patty, same thing. I think when they get to help somebody, it helps their confidence as well. And we get a story about Pumpkin. I didn't know Pumpkin was gay. She is from the South in a church with her family. Mom, classic story, but opposite. Mom supports the hell out of her. You know, she came out. She lives her best life. She's in the military.
They did say it in the earlier episode, so I did remember it. But this was just like a solidified. I was like, okay, I did hear that correctly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she's actually see it and get her package finally.
Again,
there was
and you can see her
and Dusty were the two that we didn't really get in the other earlier episodes. So I was glad we finally got theirs.
Nick is doing this again. He hates this. He hates this so much. He hates heights. He can't tell us enough that he hates heights. That's all we know about Nick. Jenny with Nick. Jenny meows the entire way down the zip line in excitement. That is her. She loves the zip line. This is not her scared meowing. She is meow, 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 loud enough for everybody to hear. How she is not the next vote will baffle me after meowing down a zip line.
I was laughing just as hard as I am now when she started doing it. Because I'm like, this is not what's happening right now. Like, this is not... I've heard of Crazy Cat Lady, but as everybody's like, whoa, we're screaming of excitement. Meow, meow, meow. You have to think about those syllables coming out of your mouth as you're doing that. You don't just do that in excitement. That is a new level of Crazy Cat Lady.
If she is 20 years younger, she is Naruto running everywhere. That is...
That is extremely accurate, yes. I can see her actually for Halloween. I am willing to bet money that she was a cat. And she walked on all fours for most of the day.
Always. Becky says the quiet part out loud for all of us to hear. I hate the meowing. I never want to hear meowing again. Becky also points out that Jenny doesn't strategize at all. So she is one of those people that's like there to prove it to herself. And, you know, like we're getting these people dropped into these buckets. And I think that matters because I think the people that are there to win the money are the ones that will end up winning.
Yeah, and they don't respect the people who are there to prove it to themselves that much. I don't feel like that. They're like, no, get off the ballot. Yeah, yeah.
Again, after they all get down this, like, you just got to fall down. That's it. It's, I just want to say, like, they make a big deal about it. I know their bodies are hurting. I know they've been doing this for 7 days. I know there's a lot of mental stress that comes with that. I would not be scared of this because I would know, like, oh, this is a thing, right? Like, if it's like, hey, we're going to hook up our own stuff and then do this, like, no, I'm not doing that. But it's like, no, this is like a well-established thing, and you're just going to belay down and then zip line down, and you got to make a transfer. It's like, yeah, okay, I can do that. That's easy to do.
Same, because I keep saying throughout the entire show that I am there to the fullest. I do not F with heights at all. I will cry, all of that. Every time we get to these challenges, I'm like, I don't know if I would actually have those reactions if I was actually there.
I don't know.
That makes me think I can do it.
They don't stay together. This is our first shot of how far behind Patty is, and it's way like down, up, and down and up another hill. Like that's how kind of far away she is.
It's bad if you walk into the group and you can't see the last person. That would, like, as a group, you should know, like, that's where you stop to at least, like, make sure you can see them. Like, they're okay.
Yep. They get a bag. They have to carry it to camp and not open it. They get to camp. They open it. It's boots for the next part of the journey, which is like BS. They barely have to carry anything. Make them carry their own boots the whole way. And also letters from home.
I initially had like the biggest, this is not Survivor. What are we doing here? They're not there for a month. It's 14 days.
Right.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Letters
exactly.
from home. What? And then we got the reading, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody cries. I don't want to. If you like that kind of stuff, go watch it. We don't need to like break it down. There's not really any exposition that we didn't know about any of the characters. They're all well exposed. There's no new stuff. But what I want to get to is Manu comes and he's like, yo, we gave you like 14 signs that says stay together and you didn't stay together. So here's the deal, dudes. You're cutting the person the furthest ahead and the person furthest behind. So one way or another, you're staying together. And they're like, oh, and it's between Patty and Dusty.
And again, I had a moment where I'm like, thank you, producers. Y'all did not let this be a regular vote. Y'all said we're adding more shit to the game. Yes, make it exciting.
I would have a problem with this if all of a sudden they just came out and were like, this is what we're doing. But there were enough times last episode with the vote when Patty started trailing, plus with the sign, there's enough signs that they're like, hey, you guys need to stay together. That now it's like, yeah, you can enforce this rule. That's fine. It might not be an established rule. You might be doing this just to like get a cool vote out of it. But I'm okay. I am okay with this kind of meddling. I've been harsh on them for meddling on other stuff, but this one I'm okay with because I feel like they gave enough warning.
Yeah, and I think they did. It was actually I'm pretty sure I remember in the first episode, Manu did straight up tell them, you have to stay together, or like you have to do this together. Because it was one of the reasons why in the confessional somebody made the note, like Dennis would have just ran up the mountain if he could by himself. He would have just left everybody. So it's like, y'all knew this. So this was on y'all, and they got to deal with the consequences. And I like that.
Right.
Especially because who it ends up being.
Yeah, who do you think's going home immediately when they say this? What's your first thought?
My first thought was just because of how they did with the last couple of votes, where it's like, you obviously want to get rid of the people who are holding you back, but they obviously really have these really strong connections to Patty. She kind of really seems to have had her claws into a lot of people in that group that I thought people were going to vote out Dusty. I felt like there was a couple moments where people were saying like, oh, I don't really know Dusty that much. I haven't really talked to Dusty that much. So I was like, are they doing the reality show thing where they have the obvious vote, but we're going to give you the nuggets to let you know that this vote out at the end was not out of nowhere. Like, it was there from the beginning. So
right.
They got me a little bit, and then the longer it went on, I was just kind of like, nah, they would be kind of stupid because y'all are in this particular well, they're actually in that predicament because of both of them. Because he was the leader, she was the slowest, and if he would have stopped, that would have been a vote out. It would have been a normal vote probably, but
right,
you know.
Yep. Should we say who went home?
Yes. We could get straight into it. My girl Patty. It's time.
I know.
It's time. You had a better vote. She had a more ceremonious vote out than Bo. I will say that. With Bo.
I'll say this. Hey, at least she didn't quit, and you didn't lose her money for the prize pot. You can't do this without Dusty for the next. You got to have Dusty. You got to have Dusty. Patty is not going to help anybody else through this. I know she's a moral support. She's great. It's not going to get easier. And especially, we saw the next trek. The next one's the miles. This is the miles.
Yes. And again, I just want to say one more time, because I'm going to get this out for every episode that I can. Justice for Jeff, because he was emotional support and he could have got you there physically. But.
Yep. So, next week, we get a long trek. It's going to be fun. I don't really have a feeling of how this is going to go out. I don't know. We haven't gotten any quits since the initial one, so I don't know if we're going to get anybody that gets to, they quit or whatever. I want to know if they're going to do some more individual stuff.
I feel like at this point, if you are halfway, any of these people in this game, I don't imagine them thinking to themselves, we're halfway, I'm going to give up now. Like, that's you're halfway there.
Yep. Yep.
Like even if you facing a vote out, it's like if I can survive the vote out, I'm looking at a pretty good payday at the end of this. So.
Yep. 100 or $200,000, I'll take it. So
Definitely.
Cool. Well, we'll be back next Monday, recapping episode 6. If you like
Before
the podcast,
we get out of here,
did you? Go ahead. What do you got?
I'm about to say, did you do your power rankings?
Oh yes, I have my power rankings.
You
I
did?
forgot we
Okay.
were gonna do power rankings. Oh, that's right. I'm glad if you stuck around to the end. I do have them. I wrote them down last week because I knew I'd forget to do it.
Okay.
All right. So we did 5, right?
Well, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. I'm a little extra. I did the whole thing, but good. You said
You
you
did the
got
whole
5.
thing. All right.
The top 5.
All right. Yeah, you're at the top 5.
Gotcha.
But I could rip through the rest here together real quick. So, all right, we'll like go back and forth and just each say our bottom, and then work our way up to the top. Does that work?
I got you. Yeah.
All right,
That's cool.
I'll start. My last place is Jenny.
Jenny. Oh, I don't know. I think for my power rankings, I accidentally put like people in there like who I think actually can make it, and I put Jeannie at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Who can? You put Jenny at the bottom.
I put Jeannie. Yeah, Jeannie. I put Jeannie. I'm like, I don't know if she gonna really be able to make it. Like, for some reason, them not wanting to partner with her that one time made me think like I don't know if they're wanting to keep her around when it comes to the votes.
Yep, I got you. So I'm doing this. You've got Jeannie. I've got Jenny. All right. Next, who's your next power ranking?
My next is the social queen herself, Adventure Time Amy.
Adventure Time Amy. And we're in lockstep there. I also had Adventure Time Amy there. I don't think she's strong in any alliance, and she's not physically helpful enough to make it through. And I will follow that one up with who I think is next after that, which is I think Dennis goes. I think Dennis is the last one. I think this is when they finally get tired with his BS and they vote him out.
Yes, we are good. Right in the same lane there. It is time for the Korean bull himself to be put out to pasture. Okay,
Korean cockroach. All right.
So don't step on it.
And who you got next?
Next up, we have my boy, the main character himself, Team Theron.
Theron, all right. And this is where I put Jeannie. This is kind of my cutoff line where I think these people might make it in and get part of the money cut. So this is my money cut line.
Oh, so you thinking that's where she is gonna make it in to get some money?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she might make it. There's a chance.
Yeah. I think that.
Oh no! The next one's the money cut, not this one. The next one's the money cut. I think she's the first one to not get money.
Gotcha. So, you just said the last one. I feel like I am so off just because of the way this last episode played out. But this is where I actually had our crazy cat, Lady Jenny.
Jenny, okay.
I had Jenny making it to the money.
And this is where I had Pumpkin.
Okay. Feel that.
And then now,
go ahead.
And then the rest of these people are people like I did order of likelihood to make it to the end, right? So this is my top ranking after that. So I had Pumpkin, and then after that, I put in who did I put in? Where is it? There it is. Oh, this is where I put Amy. Or no, I already had Amy. This is where this is where I put Becky.
Becky, okay.
I think she's gonna play herself out. I think she has a chance to outplay herself.
I feel like see, this is where I had Pumpkin one position higher than you did. I had Pumpkin right there.
Yep. No. I'll bet we're pretty close on the rest of these.
Yeah. It's I can rattle off these last 3 to make it quick. It was Nick, Dusty, Becky Lee. Nick, Dusty, Becky Lee in that order. I think those are the shootings.
And then I had Nick, Dusty, and this is where we were different. And I had Becky Lee, then I had Theron, Nick, Dusty.
Mm.
So I think I think you and I differ on Theron pretty greatly. I think Theron's there. He's done too much stuff to ever quit, and I don't think he's ever going to get voted out. I think everybody loves Theron. I think Theron's like Patty, but he can do stuff.
Yeah. I feel like he can do stuff, and he's not threatening like a Jeff would have been or was.
Right. So our power rankings go. I'll do Ohmar's first. We've got at the top, most likely to win the money, Becky Lee, Dusty, Nick, Pumpkin, and you had Jenny winning money or not winning money.
Yeah, I had Jenny winning money. I actually did.
And then,
if we're doing top five, then Jenny, yes, Jenny makes the money if we're doing top five.
And then you said after that, the order is Theron, Dennis, Amy, Jeannie. Do you think Jeannie's kind of the weakest position? For me, I think my most likely to win is Dusty, Nick, Theron, Becky Lee, Pumpkin, all making money. And then Jeannie being first to not make money. Then Dennis, Amy, and Jenny, I think, is my least likely to win anything in this game. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that was fun. We'll do it again next week. We'll keep checking in, seeing how we're doing. Let's see. Ohmar, you got anything coming up? Still working on some secret projects?
Yeah, working on the secret project. And also weekly, you guys are going to have something to look forward to. I've made visuals, okay? It's backwards.
Oh.
They got little pictures from where they made it. You see Tony got an L sign at the bottom. So we're going to add those next to every time. They got somebody.
That's wicked.
We got a campfire for Rob. Patty got scissors. I want to line up Patty if I ever make my way out to the West Coast. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm doing comedy in Cincinnati. If you're in Cincinnati, come see me do shows. It's a lot of fun. Follow me on Instagram at Wayne Memmott. But most of all, follow Reality After Show on all social medias. Follow at Jonny Fairplay. Check out our Patreon. It's $7 a month. You get all this with no ads. It's the best way to support us. If you want to support us for free, like the show, leave us a review. You can say how much you like us. And if you want to help this show specifically, do all of that on YouTube. Send it to people. Like it. Subscribe it. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. You guys know what to do. It's 2024. We know how to help the people we love. If you love us, help us out. If not, thanks for listening this far. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back next Monday after a freshly packed bowl for Too High, The Summit podcast.
I love that.
I'm Wayne Memmott.
You put such a perfect dot on it every time. The Summit podcast.
It makes me laugh so hard. I'm Wayne Memmott. That's Ohmar Gibson. We love you. Don't get too high, everybody.